All right, we are joined by Pastor David Guzik, a prolific Bible commentator and pastor, teacher, and all-around great guy. He's also part of our Calvary Chapel University board and currently a MDiv student. David, thank you for joining us.
Josh, it's a real pleasure. Thank you for making time for this.
So David, I know obviously teaching the Word of God is a hallmark part of the Calvary Chapel movement, the verse-by-verse teaching, and you of all people have been a huge part of that in providing your enduring Word commentaries for pastors to use in their Bible study. But now you've been involved with CCU in helping to raise up a new generation of pastors and leaders and help equip and encourage those who are teaching the Word of God. So my question for you is, why do you see, or how do you see the role of Bible college or university in preparing people to teach the Bible?
I think that Bible colleges and universities, and I'll speak of Calvary Chapel University in particular, they provide an important and even additional option for students and pastors and leaders, especially pastors, to just become better trained in the work we do in preaching and teaching, but then also comprehensively in every aspect of pastoral ministry. So I think it's just a very important option for pastors to have. I am so impressed, Josh, by the need for us to have an educated ministry. God's not glorified by an ignorant ministry. Now, I, as well as anybody, I know that that education for ministry can come through several different avenues, but certainly one of the options that pastors should strongly consider is a program like Calvary Chapel University.
Awesome. So David, what's interesting to me is that after years of being in ministry and teaching in Bible colleges and doing your commentaries, you have actually enrolled at Calvary Chapel University as a student. Tell us a little bit about what that decision looked like for you and what it's been like.
Well, there are actually a few things motivating my decision to take on the MDiv program at CCU. One of it is though, even though I'd been on the board for, probably the last 5 or 6 years of Calvary Chapel University, I'm a person who's very interested in learning and academics, and I feel very comfortable in the academic environment. And so it looked like a great opportunity for me to do something that I had been thinking about for quite a while, and that's just going back and pursuing an MDiv. And so since I had the opportunity to do it, I did it. There's another real aspect to it. I felt that it was important for me as a board member to get a student's eye perspective. And I thought that I could give a lot of great feedback to the institution as a whole by, as a board member, coming back and just at a student level taking the classes.
Absolutely. You get that hands-on experience for sure. Have you found the classes to be challenging, interesting, helpful towards your day-to-day and your ministry?
Yes, I have. And, Josh, I don't know how many of our viewers will know this, but, Calvary Chapel University is in the midst of, and really almost to the end of, as we record this right now, a long accreditation process. And we're not completely there yet, but I mean, really, the boxes are getting checked along the way in this process. And one of the things I've seen that's really been remarkable is how the accreditation process has worked to make us an even better institution, which is, of course, what the whole idea of accreditation is supposed to do. You're supposed to review everything you do from beginning to end, including your curriculum and the approach of your classes, and make them better and better. It's been a remarkable thing for me to get an up-close vision, both from a board perspective and from a student's perspective, that the classes are challenging. Man, these are legit classes that are really helping to equip pastors for the work of the ministry.
Well, speaking to that accreditation aspect too, I know that the truth is that in the Calvary Chapel movement that we're all a part of, in the past, there's been some negative feelings towards institutions that tried to get accredited, feeling like maybe that would hinder the work of the Spirit in the education process. What would you say in response to that?
Well, again, I come back to kind of what I said at the beginning, that what we have to look at CCU as is it's one option that people have in getting educated for ministry. Look, I'll be the first one to say, what we offer at CCU, it's for a lot of people, but it's not for everybody. God may direct somebody to a different kind of program. And I think that some of the negativity, if you want to say, towards the idea of accreditation is that it attracts people who are only interested in a piece of paper, a diploma. They're not really interested in engaging and learning and growing, and especially being equipped for ministry. Now, we have to say, the two don't have to contradict each other at all. You can be accredited and still really have a focus on serving those who are doing ministry and being prepared for ministry. But at the same time, we agree that having accreditation does mean you are going to have at least some people who come along and they're not so interested in ministry. They're just so interested in the piece of paper, the diploma, so to speak. But again, it's one option among others. And I think that each pastor really needs to not only, number one, needs to continue to be a learner throughout their pastoral ministry. That I think that's just important for every single pastor to do. And to prayerfully consider something like Calvary Chapel University as maybe one avenue through which they might continue on that learning.
Awesome. Yeah. Tell us just a little bit about what that looks like for you as a student now. I know you're in the middle of doing your day-to-day ministry activities and work. Like, how much does it take a lot of your time? Like, what would you say to a pastor who's like wondering, can I balance this education with the work of the ministry?
Well, okay, when I initially started as a student in the MDiv program at Calvary Chapel University, I said, okay, I'm going to take one class, a module, because they do it not so much in semesters, but in 8-week modules. I'll take one class, a module. But I found that that was actually a pretty easy workload. So for the past year or more, I've been taking 2 classes, a module, and I found that to be a workable workload. You know, you pay attention to what you're doing during the week, maybe get a little bit done on different days through the week. And then what I've done is I've selected one day a week that I really give a lot of focus and put my attention. Now, I don't know about you, Josh, but for me, it just worked out to make Sunday evening my focus time. Now, maybe that had something to do with the fact that the assignments are always due by midnight on Sunday night.
Sure.
But I would always reserve that to finish up all my work for the week. And for me, it worked very well in my schedule, so well that I was able to go to 2 classes a module and not just one.
Well, David, thank you so much for your time. I know that many of the people listening to this would already kind of know how to access these things, but tell us a little bit about how people can access Enduring Word and the different things you're offering.
Well, again, you could just go to my website, enduringword.com. You can Google my name. I got the website. I also have a YouTube channel. I have a weekly question and answer thing where people just come in and ask questions and I answer them. And so if you just Google my name, there's ways to get involved with that.
Well, you heard it, guys. Google David Guzik. You'll find some great stuff. Thanks, David, so much.
You're welcome, Josh.